The Chicago Bulls have not been able to form a particularly high-quality team for years. After the Derrick Rose era, this team plays with a lot of ups and downs and no clear idea. The impression is that they have been in the rebuilding phase for 10 years, which has not changed this season either. The Chicago Bulls got off to a very bad start. It was seen that there was a lack of offensive production, which is partly the result of a certain period which Zach LaVine spent off the court. However, LaVine is a player who loves isolation. And with him on the court, the ball doesn't move as much as the Chicago Bulls need. LaVine and DeMar DeRozan are not winners, as they have proven in the previous parts of their careers. And with them is the best tandem. This team cannot go far. Despite a bad period at the beginning of the season, this team has picked up a great rhythm lately and has 4 wins in the last 5 games. The last one came against the Atlanta Hawks by 118. 113. In a duel in which Andre Drummond was the best player, with a dominant game of 24 points and 25 rebounds. DeRozan was the most efficient with 25 points. Now it's up to the Chicago Bulls to keep up the momentum. Such a series of good games can be a great reason for optimism, especially since they win without LaVine. And in this game also without Nikola Vucevic, the team's first center. The Indiana Pacers are playing very well this season. This team has always had a recognizable system and was competitive even for the playoffs. In the last few years, the strongest Indiana Pacers were Paul George are remembered, but that time has passed. Now, this team has a somewhat different structure and threatens to repeat the successes of George's era in the following seasons. The most deserving of that is the great Tyrese Halliburton, who is the real leader of this team. The great guard usually has a double-double with double-digit assists, with very few turnovers. Halliburton is thus the driving force of one of the best offensive teams in the league, which they prove game after game. In the last game before this duel, they beat the Houston Rockets 123-117 with 33 points, 6 rebounds, and 10 assists from Halliburton. Miles Turner added 18 points, which was enough for the win over the rival. It is up to the Indiana Pacers to continue in the same rhythm and play well offensively. It is known what their idea is, what their goal is, but for something more than 8th place in the Eastern Conference, a better game and defense will be needed. It is up to the Indiana Pacers to continue in the same rhythm and play well offensively. It is known what their idea is, what their goal is, but for something more than 8th place in the Eastern Conference, a better game and defense will be needed. Absences and injuries. The home team will not be able to count on Nikola Vucevic, Zach LaVine, Torrey Craig, Lonzo Ball, Owen Ralph team, and Henry Drell. The guest will be without Bruce Brown. If both teams were complete, it would be more difficult to predict who could win. In this case, when Vucevic and LaVine will not be ready, 2 of the 3 best players. It is logical to suggest that the Indiana Pacers will outplay the rival, regardless of the fact that they are in a slightly worse shape and have only 3 wins in the last 9 games. Our expectation is that the Indiana Pacers will take advantage of the host's injuries and win by a margin higher than the offered handicap. Our prediction is Indiana Pacers minus 3.5.
And the Bulls have the lead. Well, that's too easy.